Years of Years, and it is This Day in Disney for June 22nd. And we're going to start off with Floyd Norman, who was born today in 1935 in California. He is a producer, director, editor, animator, writer, publisher, storyboard artist, and maybe even a self-proclaimed troublemaker. Floyd grew up in Santa Barbara, California, and after seeing Dumbo and Bambi, he decided he was in love with animation. He began his career in 1959 with the Walt Disney Company, working on as a go-between on Sleeping Beauty, and then he was drafted and then came back to the company in 1960 to work on 101 Dalmatians and The Sword in the Stone, and he actually co-wrote the story for The Jungle Book, which was just showing his multi-level of talent. He was the first African American to work for the Walt Disney Company. After Walt's death in 1966, he actually co-founded a company with his good friend Leo Sullivan called Vignette Films, and it was the first to produce on the subject of Black history. So I was looking and trying to find what they produced. I couldn't find that for you guys to go check out, but I'm going to keep researching and see if I can find those. I think they would be really great to see. He also worked for Hanna-Barbera and Rudy Spears, as well as Film Roman and Pixar. Later on, he worked on Pixar Toy Story 2, Monsters Incorporated, Mulan, and Hunchback of Notre Dame, much more. He has done so much, and he, I think, is the type of person that never quits working, doesn't ever want to stop, and I'm pretty sure he's probably working on something now. If you really want to get to know him in depth, he's written many books, but there is a cool documentary out called Floyd Norman, An Animated Life. I would encourage you to check that out, as well as just go to YouTube. He's done so many interviews, and I think he's the type of person that has mentored and tried to help young animators, young creative people as well. So really special person who worked for the Walt Disney Company, and go learn more about him. And then next up on This Day in Disney in 2012, Brave was released. What an awesome movie. We loved Brave when it came out. This computer animated film was directed by Mark Andrews and Brenda Chapman, and the story was by Brenda Chapman, and she actually based it on her relationship with her own daughter. So that's really neat. I love how so many of these Disney films and cartoons and such are immortalized true life relationships and stories. There's just like little things. Being a good example is the lady in the hat box in Lady and the Tramp. This is another situation whenever we watch that Brave, we can think of Brenda Chapman and her relationship with her own daughter. I think that's really cool. Set in the Scottish Highlands, of course, it is the story of Merida, the princess, and she is the only Disney Pixar princess to date. So that's an interesting little tidbit. Pixar also created, I thought this was really interesting information, they created 3 tartan patterns for the film for Clan Dunbrock, Clan Dingwall, and Clan MacGuffin. And then for Clan Macintosh, they actually just used the red pattern that Macintosh, the non-fictional Clan Macintosh, has. So the Walt Disney Company actually registered Clan Dunbrock tartan with the release of the movie. So interesting, so cool how all the Disney movies, and so many times how they just tie things in to the real world and make it so authentic. We love Merida as a princess. We loved this film when it came out. And then we had the coolest experience at Walt Disney World when we were visiting and got in line to go visit Merida. We were waiting for a long time, as you do, and but we were inside the little alcove, and it's real rocky in there, and not like actually behind us there was a little boy who was climbing on the rocks, and he fell and hit his face, and he was bleeding and everything. And Merida saw this. She stopped everything and ran to him and made the cast members go and get help and stopped the line and tended to him and brought the family up front. And to us, we were like, wow. When we got up there later to see her, we were like, you are a true princess. Because they just showed so much care, and she obviously cared enough to not just keep going with this long line in the heat and worry about that stuff. Something wrong happened, and she stopped everything to help. And I think that is the mark of a true princess. So we had a great experience at Disney World that time, and love all the cast members, and looking forward to seeing all of them soon. But that's it for this day in Disney. We'll see you next time. Bye!